I'm going to change your perception about fruit in under 10 minutes. So, and I'm going to use the most powerful example I can is my own self. And so, if you resonate with that, perfect. Up until the age of like 23, 0 to 23, for 23 years, I perceived fruit as something that was boring, something that was healthy-ish, but I never knew any specific details about fruit. I didn't know why it was healthy. I didn't even know how it could be healthy, like what you eat. I knew like oranges contain vitamin C, bananas contain potassium. That's the greatest extent, basically, that I knew of anything about fruits. And why would I even eat that when I can get vitamin C in orange juice, like the orange juice from McDonald's, or from, something more convenient and accessible? I could get the potassium from some dollar banquet microwavable tray dish. There's probably potassium somewhere in there because it's a cacophony of different ingredients that probably contains potassium. Why don't I just get the potassium from this processed garbage that at the time I just thought it was tasty and convenient and quick and super cheap because I was really poor? And then when I did actually eat fruit, which was very rarely, it was either in a can from school, like mixed fruits, and that stuff's drenched in syrup. And so that made it extra sweet, which made it actually somewhat palatable. And when I did ever eat fruit, which was very rare, it was probably like a banana, which was unripe. It was only yellow. Yellow is not ripe. It needs to be almost like really blacky spots. And so long story short, I didn't have the right fruit to taste because it wasn't even ripe. Like, okay, you could have the conventional supermarket fruit when it's unripe, and then you could have the actual conventional supermarket fruit when it's ripe, and both of those will taste boring because when you eat candy all day, pop, cookery, animal products, a whole host of trash. I could go down the list. Hundreds of pieces of crap that normally are the same main ingredients over and over, just in different chemical formulas. And just super, like, sodium rich. These things that they literally hijack your taste buds. And I'm not, for the people that ate steak and potatoes and home cooked meals from your mom, I'm talking about you too. Like, that shit was just as bad. Like, your senses have been hijacked your entire life. You don't know the pleasure of how delicious fruit is because the problem isn't the fruit. The problem is your taste buds are malfunctioning. You have a degenerating mouth. You have a degenerating taste. You can't use a calculator if the battery is shorting out and you can't even type all the buttons. You can't drive a car if your check engine light is going off and your oil is empty and your transmission is constantly slipping. You can't wear the perfect dress to prom because your dress doesn't fit in the right areas and it's falling off. You, like, give me any analogy for any type of person, and the problem is you're the problem why you think fruit sucks ass. And I thought that the future was happening, like medicine and supplements and nutrients and foods with like 50 ingredients. Why the hell would I need this simple ass fruit, this like ancient dinosaur thing that just gets germs all over it, which germs don't even exist? I thought the fruit was dirty. I thought fruit was gross because different people touched it. Like, I was like, that's sick. That's germs. Like, this stuff comes from the ground. It's by dirt. Like, why do you want to eat this stuff when it's just sounds gross, right? Because we were duped. We were all duped for 23 years of my life that pasteurization is good. And what do you call it? Antibiotics are good. Like, no, you need the biome, you need the biotics. The problem isn't the bacteria. The problem is what you're eating is causing incorrect bacteria in your gut. You need to remove the problem of eating toxic garbage, and that bacteria will disappear and your normal flora will reappear. So you don't need antibiotics. You don't need pasteurization. Pasteurization was for the boogeyman germ theory, which doesn't exist. These are dead particles that they pretend are like robotic. They're not robotic. They're dead particles that are getting stuck in your system because you keep eating them. You're eating the dead particles. The bacteria isn't germophobing in your body and just consuming your body and hijacking your body. It's not alive. You keep eating it. You just have to stop eating it. You'll probably get sick because you're having what's called a healing crisis when you abstain from toxic things that you had a tolerance to. It's just like drugs. You abstain from the problem, then you get sick, and then you think the problem was that you removed the thing, but that was actually it was good to remove the problem. Getting sick is good because then you're withdrawing. You're withdrawing from the drugs. The drugs are cookery. Everything that's cooked, aka pasteurized, is a drug. It's hyper concentrated. And so once I realized that raw stops zapping your taste buds, you stop coating your mouth with oil and fat. Fruit doesn't have, non-fatty fruits do not have fat. You're not getting all gunked up with like cooked food. It's called like sugar caramelization happens to everything you cook. Caramelization thickens the food. The food gets thick and viscous and it sticks inside your mouth and it gets stuck. And then you can't taste. And then you zap it with spicy stimulants. Don't do that either. Once you have a clean, healthy palate, a hydrating tongue, like, it's miraculously different. Fruit is pleasurable then. It's like bliss. Like, you literally, there's nothing like it. There's absolutely nothing. It's amazing. And then when you get away from the conventional fruits and you actually get into the jungle fruits, that's when it gets like just heavenly. You need to experience this at least once in your life to actually understand it, because almost nobody has.